The wave of migration to the cloud started more than a decade ago, when conventional cloud services in form of access to virtualized hardware instances in the cloud gained more popularity. Hardware virtualization services like EC2 initially gained more interest than application-specific offerings like Google App Engine. Using this model, the migration from the premises to the cloud was more successful for batch-style workloads, such as MapReduce and high-performance computing, and less successful for stateful services such as database management systems. In the conventional model, developers had to deal with most of the complexities of their systems, including redundancy in their design to ensure availability, geographic distribution of redundant copies if they were required, load balancing, and request routing, auto-scaling in response to changes in load to scale up or scale down in the system, monitoring, logging, system upgrades, patching, and migration to new instances as they became available. AWS's Lambda offering of cloud functions drew attention to what is called serverless computing, a misguiding name as it actually includes server, but with a different usage model. Instead of buying hardware instances from the cloud provider, developers could hand off the server provisioning and administration to the cloud provider, and the pay-per-use for fine-grained resources could be used instead of reserving them ahead of time and paying for them. This helped to cut more of the ahead-of-time estimation of the resources and provisioning and costs associated. Serverless computing can be expressed as packaging of cloud functions as a service plus backend as a service. In this model, hardware instance selection, resource scaling, deployment, fault tolerance model, monitoring, logging, and patching are all performed by the cloud provider. The fundamental differences between the serverless model and the conventional cloud computing could be described by three main points: decoupling of computing and storage so that they can separately scale and separately priced, possibility of executing code without developer management on resource allocation in the serverless computing, and paying for resources used in the serverless model as opposed to the resources reserved in the old cloud computing model. We will explore these in further detail in our discussion in cloud section of this course.